Welcome to whiskyace.com. This is your whiskey news for July 23rd. I'm Gillian, the Ace of Hearts.
And I'm Mike Gill, the Ace of Diamonds. Before we start the news, some controversy last week from Gillian with regards to her pronouncing White and Mackay. Now, Canadians always say A, so Mackay. Scots say I, Mackay. That should be the end of that one.
But in any regard, I will be switching over and saying Mackay from now on. So thank you for that reader suggestion. Prince Andrew had a lesson in whiskey production this week while visiting Brechin Distillery. The Brechin Advisor reported that the owners were thrilled with the prince's visit. As the only remaining distillery in Glencadam County, owners felt the visit allowed them to demonstrate their resilience and innovation in spite of the worldwide recession. Brechin Distillery has over 22,500 casks stored on site, dating back to 1978, with the distillery itself dating back to 1825. This is the first time a member of the royal family has visited the distillery. When you think of the average whiskey drinker, infants aren't typically the demographic that come to mind. That is, unless you are chocolate company L'Université du Chocolat. The company recently released a series of ads featuring what looks like drunk babies in order to promote a whiskey-infused chocolate. Now, the blogs have been going back and forth as to whether or not this was in good taste or poor taste. We asked our readers, who felt that it was more on the poor taste end of things. What did you think, Mike?
Very poor taste. I can see the marketing company was probably trying to do something very cutting edge, but children and whiskey, no, absolutely not.
No, and we're hesitant to share a dram as it is, so we certainly wouldn't be sharing them with any infants.
Absolutely. Helen of Troy may have launched 1,000 ships, but that pales in comparison to the 3 million whiskey drinkers actress Koyuki has inspired. Long labelled an old man's drink, whiskey is making a comeback in Japan. New ads featuring Koyuki preparing a refreshing cocktail of lemon, soda and kakubin whiskey are believed to be behind the 70% increase in sales this year. And very funny, I'm pronouncing Japanese words this week.
BMI Airlines are apologizing this week after one of its marketing campaigns praised Aberdeen's famous whiskey. The problem? Aberdeen hasn't had a distillery in over 250 years. Tourism spokeswoman for Visit Scotland called the blunder an honest mistake, saying, quote, "We welcome any efforts to attract more visitors to Aberdeen." The airline has since apologized, citing that they were over-enthusiastic in their marketing.
I fly BMI. They're quite good, actually, but strange one. A rare bottle of Ballantine's whiskey salvaged from a shipwreck is to be sold at auction. This week, the Press Association reported that the bottle is thought to have been recovered from the wreck of the SS Politician. The cargo ship ran aground in a gale near the island of Eriskay in 1941, with 264,000 bottles of whiskey on board. And look forward to seeing how much that fetches. McCallum had a 50 anniversary 80-year-old go for nearly £12,000 recently.
Wow. Well, also in rare whiskey news this week, the Canterbury Museum is currently thawing what they believe to be a crate of whiskey left behind by Ernest Shackleton during his 1908 expedition to the Antarctic. 5 crates of the whiskey and brandy were discovered in January 2010. The museum will be thawing, opening, and examining one of the crates, labeled Mackinley's whiskey. White and Mackay currently own the Mackinley whiskey label. Master blender for Mackay, Richard Patterson, hopes that the whiskey is well preserved, saying, quote, "It will be the highlight of my career to date to be able to analyze and replicate this liquid gold." The thaw will be tracked on a blog at whiskythaw.canterburymuseum.com. Donald Trump is known for his luxurious properties and high-end entertainment ventures, but now Business 7 is reporting that the Donald has his sights set on something even sweeter, a brand of Trump whiskeys. Sarah Malone, Executive VP of Trump International Golf Links, said they are currently in talks with a number of different distilleries. Quote, "We are meeting with companies regionally and nationally to identify the best products for Trump International Golf Links Scotland, and we look forward to commissioning and manufacturing a wide range of products over the coming years." The global launch is tentatively planned for 2012.
We've closed the program this week with a News in the Mirror, which was actually on Canadian TV last night. They interviewed Britain's oldest couple, married an impressive 77 years. 101 and 107 years old, the couple still have an active life. They do shopping, they have lunch clubs, and to quote probably the most important is getting on with each other, a good diet, and of course a tot of whiskey every single night.
Of course.
And my dad at 84 totally agrees with that. Before we close today, I hear a rumor that you're going south.
Yes, I'm going to be headed to Orlando, Florida this week, where I'm going to pay a visit to Palm Ridge Reserve Distillery. It's a little independent distillery up in Orlando, and I'm really excited for the trip. It'll be my first time witnessing a middle cut, so that should be interesting. I'll have all that for you on whiskyace.com, not this week, but the following week coming up. And for more whiskey news, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Whiskey Ace 1, or just pay us a visit there from time to time. Or you can visit us on our website at whiskyace.com. And if you have your own whiskey tips, please feel free to send them through to whiskyace@hotmail.com. That's all we have for you tonight. For more whiskey news, we hope to see you again back here next week.
See you later.
Bye-bye.